whether to hunt the animal or survive from the other animal. So stress, even from the evolution perspective, there was always stress. If at all, when we were in college, every time on a Rakhi day, I always used to feel stressed. Which girl will tie me Rakhi? Then you get married. Then you are a young adult. Whenever you are propose a girl, then you are stressed. When you become a parent, your children will be either addicted to phone, mobile, screen. There again stress. You go to office, multiple stress. You get married, is very difficult how to manage the wife. So the stress is ever prevalent. So how to before going to the stress, let us look at what is health. So we always think that health is something like absence of disease. Like for example, I get up in the morning, I have my breakfast, go for a walk, come back, sleep, again have lunch, dinner. No disease. Is it healthy? No. So the health is not just mere absence of disease. The WHO definition of health is physical, mental, social, and spiritual well-being. So, what is this physical, mental, social, spiritual well-being? I'll give an example. Whenever we are, like for example, we are all working from 9 to 4 or 9 to 5. After 5 o'clock, sometimes if someone tells us to run for 100 meters, some days we run better. Some days, even after an hour of working, we may feel very distressed. We don't feel like doing anything. Why is that? If at all something happens in our working environment or we feel upset about something, that time though our physically we are fine, but whenever we have mentally we are not up to the mark, we will not be able to run. So that is where the mental health comes into the picture. So what is this mental health? Like if at all we are happy, like I always tell, this mind and body are like two sides of a coin. Like if it two sides of a coin means like if there is a pain in one side of a coin, it will always reflect on the other side also. It's not that the side which receives the trauma will be painful, the other side is also painful. So when we are mentally healthy, you are physically also we are healthy. So how to be mentally healthy is the next question. So how to be mentally healthy? Point number one is whenever I was in the early part of my career, like my one of the major topic of research was what is success and what is happiness. I know it's the morning, the first class I am taking, but can I have from the audience? I want to ask you: uh, is success equal to happiness? Anyone? Like,
Yes, sir.
yeah. My point is, success and happiness are
No, sir.
are they same or they are different?
Different, sir.
Excellent, madam. Like,
It's
what
different,
is
sir.
the
Definitely, it's different.
exactly? Very nice, sir. Correct. So, initially I was doing a research. Are all successful happy? Successful people are happy, or all people who are happy are successful? That was my major research area where we interviewed people from every status of life, like starting from cricketers to Bollywood stars to normal people. Many people were very, very successful, but they were not happy. Some people were happy, but their success was very mediocre. So, how can we define happiness? Anyone?
Sir, you
ಸರ್
have to
ಕೇಳಿದೆ
live
ಸರ್
for
ನಿನ್ನೆ
you.
ಅದಕ್ಕೆ
Hello, sir.
Anyone can
Sir, am I
define happiness?
audible?
What is happiness?
Sir, am I audible?
Yes, sir. Please, sir.
Sir, am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You are audible, sir.
Sir,
Absolutely audible, sir.
Nothing but you have.
You're audible, sir. Someone was talking. It's okay. So anyone else, what is happiness? How can we define
It's
happiness?
like a satisfied life, satisfaction.
Exactly. Fantastic, madam. Satisfied life. Any other definition? Any other definition for happiness? Basically, I have a small definition for happiness. See, all of you are sitting, whether I'm a good speaker or a bad speaker, I'm a learned man or not learned man or something, but you have accepted that we should listen to this lecture or a class or something like that. Because if you are accepted, so none of you are doing like this or all like this, because accepting the inevitability of the situation is happiness. There is a small definition for happiness, but I was still talking about mental health. If at all mental health is required, Ajay Kumar sir. Okay, no problem. So basically, most of the time in a day, 8 hours we sleep, other 4 hours we do our daily course. Remaining almost one third of our life, we are with others. Either we are with our parents or our spouse or our children or our students or our colleagues. Like 90% of the time, almost one third of the time of our life, we are always with others. If at all we fight with or we have quarrel with someone, or we have some sort of problem with the colleagues or our students or our children or our parents or our spouse, that will always cause disharmony. If at all I fight with my wife and come and sit here and talk, always my talk would be not good. If I have some problem here and go back to home, the same problem happen. So the social health is very, very important. So, like, if at all you are socially healthy, then you are mentally healthy. If you are mentally healthy, you are physically also healthy. So, what is the spiritual health? Like, there is a person who has a lot of hairs on his scalp, he sits in Kailash. Is that spirituality? Anyone? How what? How do we? How do you define or understand the spirituality? What is spirituality? Anything? It's all something very subjective, and no definition is there.
Sir, it's inner happiness of the man.
Very nice, madam. Exactly, inner happiness of the mind. Excellent. Any other things about spiritual health? See, like, you are all from very academic background. We have become almost clinicians in the past so many years. Like, if at all we look at the basic sciences, we know that group of atoms become molecules become tissue become organ, then a human being. Each one of us have the basic structure is atom. In atom we have protons, neutrons, electrons, everything. We have so many positive things are there, so many negative charges are also there. If at all if at all we look at a person and look at his negative things, we always hate him. If at all we look at the positive things in him, we can be in harmony with him. I always tell lotus. Lotus is a epitome of spirituality. Where does lotus stay? Lotus always stays in a dirty pond, where the lotus neither stops spreading its beauty, nor it leaves the dirty pond. The epitome of spirituality is lotus. Similarly, if at all we look at the positives in others, we are in harmony with them. If at all we look at the negative in others, then we are definitely in disharmony with them. So if you are at all you are spiritually healthy, you look at positives in anyone. So you are socially healthy. You are socially healthy, you are mentally healthy. If you are mentally healthy, you're physically healthy. That completes the definition of health according to WHO. I always love this quote from John Milton: the mind in its own plates and in itself can make a heaven of hell a hell of heaven. So it's always the mind which determines how we perceive things, and it is always the mind which will always determine what we think about the situation, what we interact with the situation. So I was putting a picture where husband and wife are quarreling, and that is causing stress in the male partner. Always ask a question. If at all we compare the male brain and female brain, whose brain is bigger in size? Anyone?
Female brain, sir.
Female brain. Any other answers?
Male brain.
Male brain. Actually, sir is correct. Male brain is bigger than female brain, but I always tell that male brain is like a desktop you can see on the screen. But female brain is like a laptop. Male brain is we have a all of a bigger brain, almost 75 grams bigger than woman's brain. But the point is, female brains is though it is smaller, it functions better. Always we tell. In all the movies they tell ಹೆಣ್ಮಕ್ಳೇ strong guru, means the weaker sex is male. Like if at all you look at the abortions which happens in the first 3 months of intrauterine abortions, most of it are male because Y chromosomes are weaker. But at the same time, though the female brain is smaller than the male brain, you can look at these two structures. You can see the cursor moving that this is hippocampus. This is the memory where the memory is stored. You can see the cursor moving. This is the hippocampus. This is the amygdala. This amygdala is the one which gives emotions to these memories. So always these two structures are always very well developed in women. So you can see many husband and wife fighting. Like wife will be scolding the husband, telling that the first anniversary gift what my husband gave was very bad, but the husband couldn't even remember the anniversary. Though woman brain is bigger, smaller, and but very effective. But most of the things, like if you look at the first 5 years of life, if at all you want to really understand how men and women's brain work, you should go to a kindergarten. In the kindergarten, you can see the boys would be roaming around here and there. Usually, the girl children will be sitting quietly, neat uniform. If you look at the disorders in terms of autism or attention deficit hyperactive disorders, all these things are the prevalence is very higher in the first 5 years only in men, in the male children. But as the age advances, depression, anxiety, stress, everything becomes more in women because that one is the biology. In biology, like what happens is men doesn't menstruate, men doesn't become pregnant also, and also these hormonal changes have a significant impact on the brains of the woman. That's where the more anxiety, stress, depression is more common in women when compared to men. Not only that, woman has multiple roles, maybe a mother, maybe a professor, daughter, so many multiple roles she should go through. That is also one of the important cause for stress. All of us are in an academic institute. I do work in a medical college. Like we know that there is lot of knowledge explosion happening. So every information becomes doubled every 6 months. Most of the information today will become obsolete in the next 2 years. Just keeping up with this knowledge explosion itself is a big stress. But how to keep up with that? If at all you look at the 3 weeks inside the womb, the brain starts developing at 3 weeks. At that point of time, the cells in the brain develops in the speed of 22,50,000 cells per minute. But at the when we are born, we have almost 100 billion neurons with more than 10,000 connections. But the point is, first 5 years there will be increase in the neurons. But after the first 5 years, there is no increase in the neurons, but still uh, we learn lot of things. But I was always thinking, where does this go? Because though the number of neurons does not increase, the number of connections keep on increasing. Here's a great scientist called Paul McLaren. He was the one who gave this triune structure. He was the one who found that humans have a triune structure. What is this triune structure? You can see in the lower bottom, this is the reptilian brain. This is a paleo-mammalian brain. This is a neo-mammalian. So we have three-layered brain. We are the only animal who can learn from our mistakes. No other animals can learn from their mistakes, but still sometimes we behave like other animals. Will never learn from mistakes. But coming to today's topic is anxiety and stress. Like why it is very important. Like if at all we don't work for a day, it is like we have lost one full day. One full day losing means like yeah, one full day lost for that country or that state or that office. If at all we look at like this, every year almost 7,60,000 days are lost because of anxiety and stress. Why? uh, like there was a World Economic Forum which happened in 2019. World Economic Forum told if at all you spend $1 on mental health, you gain $4 out of it. You can see all these great characters whom we lost. You know this one of the very famous Kannada actress. All these people we lost because we did not address their stress. Otherwise, we could have saved them for a long time. But looking at stress, like what is stress is the next question. Anyone knows what is stress? Anyone knowing or anything? Like we usually commonly use this word stress. What do you mean by stress? Anyone? To just make it interactive. What do you mean by stress?
We can't be stable in mind.
Nice, madam. Can't be stable in mind. Anything else? See, if you have fever, you think, okay, I'll take one crocin, I'll be better. But if your children have fever, or if your parents have fever, the way you think is different, right? Correct or wrong? So, stress is nothing but it is something which arises when something we care about is at stake. ನಾವು ಏನೋ ತುಂಬಾ ಇಷ್ಟಪಡುವಂಥದ್ದು ಏನೋ ತೊಂದರೆಗಳಿದೆ ಅನ್ನೋವಾಗಲೇ ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಸ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. So each of us face stress in a different way. How do we face stress? Basically, the same stress, me and someone else, I can take it in a different way, but someone else can take it in a different way. It all depends upon how we are brought up, our early upbringing. It all depends upon that. So here is a small video how each of us face stress. Just look at this video. So, like you have heard about a concept called inferiority complex. That was coined by a great psychiatrist called Alfred Adler. He quotes one story where a mother takes her three children to a zoo, where these three children were taken in front of a cage where there is a lion is kept. So one child just goes behind the mother's back and just don't even dare to see the lion inside the cage. The second child comes out and pees in his pant and tell I can face the tiger. The third child will be just shivering, sweating, not even talking. So we all know that lion or a tiger is a huge structure. When we look at those huge structures, always we feel inferior to that. That's how humans also, we all of us choose a profession where we don't feel inferior. All of us choose a place where I feel we don't feel inferior, and we strive to be in that superior status. So that almost this inferiority complex is the one which makes us choose the environment where we stay, choose the profession what we do. See here another example where this is called as learned helplessness. Here, see, there is a dog where this dog, if the dog steps into that the second grid, there is a shock the dog is experiencing. So once the dog tries to go there, it feels it is there is shock inside there. Then dog starts avoiding to cross that grid. Later, basically, though there is no electric current passing, even after that electricity is removed, this dog doesn't even dare to step into that. This is a concept given by Martin Seligman. He is one of the pioneers in positive psychology. This is called as learned helplessness. Many times, what we do is there are some situations where certain of the factors prevents us achieving certain things. Though those adverse factors are removed, we doesn't dare to step into the same thing. So long back, I was treating one girl who was studying in her engineering. She was a topper, comes from a very prestigious engineering college, regional engineering college. This girl had failed in her third semester in maths because she had fever. She was unable to write that exam. But she had visited me when she was in her seventh semester, because every time she wants to go to the exam, she always feels that I am failure. We learn this helplessness. So some uncontrollable bad event had happened because she had fever in her third sem mathematics, but she started feeling that she can't write that math. That is perceived lack of control. That so all these things can cause stress. Okay, I always ask, is stress good or bad? Is there anything good about stress? Anyone? See, many times all of you are teachers, most of you are very disciplined, most of you look very disciplined and studious. But most of the times, during our exams only, we used to study a lot. Agree or disagree? Near to the exams, our performance becomes more. I always tell whenever there is a fire below the rocket, then only the rocket launches well. So many times stress improves our performance. Okay. What is this stress which increase the performance? You can see this Yerke-Dodson law. You can see the x-axis, the anxiety and stress, y-axis, the performance. At a lower level, the stress and anxiety increases our performance. That is called as eustress. But at some point of time, the good thing about stress is it makes us excited, it stimulates us, it makes us more creative, makes us more successful, it makes us more achievement, it increases our productivity. But at one point of time, you can see there is downward graph where we start feeling boredom, we start feeling frustrated, we feel distressed, we start losing our productivity. Then so many small problems like indigestion, unhappy, disharmonious relationships and all sets. The most ugly part of stress is that many of the headaches, strokes, many of the heart attacks, the many of like you know that many people once they eat food immediately they want to go to the washroom. You know that our gut is around 30 feet. How can food travel 30 feet in just 1 minute? It's all because of stress. We call it as irritable bowel syndrome. Because of that anxiety and stress, there is a gastrocolic reflex which causes this movement. The most of the arthritis is because of stress, hair fall, acne, psoriasis, migraines, neuropathies, obesity. Most disastrous is the hopelessness which leads into suicide. So we know that there are a lot of causes of death. One of the most preventable cause of death is suicide. Unfortunately, the whole world focuses on so many causes of death, but no focus on suicide. It is one of the most leading cause of death, which is actually preventable. One of the leading cause of this suicide is hopelessness. So, if at all we don't address the stress, it is always causing lot of disasters, including the physical problems like heart attack, neuropathy, irritable bowel syndrome, suicide, so many things. So, what are the ways we can handle stress? One of the major ways of one of the major cause of stress is we don't prioritize the tasks. Like for example, we have so many tasks in a day. What we do is like for example, I have a class with University of Mysore. Then I have a class with nursing college. Then I have to see my ward patients, and then I should teach my postgraduates. Then I have a clinic. These are my priorities. Also have a plan to eat an ice cream today, but I only spend most of the time planning for ice cream and neglect all these things. Then if at all I don't prioritize, that always leads to stress. Then the basic thing is we don't schedule our daily, weekly, or monthly activities. Many of you, if you may be heads of the department, or many of you may be the unit chief, something like that. Like if you are a leader, leader is not supposed. If you are a leader, it's not that you should do all the work. If at all you try to do all the work, that always causes stress and you will become less productive. Until unless you know how to delegate the work, you're not a good leader. And most of the time we know that we can't do certain things, but we don't know how to say no. If at all you don't learn how to say no, that is one of the major causes of stress. And one of the biggest causes of stress is procrastination. Like we always tell today, no, tomorrow, no, next, again, tomorrow is next tomorrow. This procrastination always causes a lot of stress. Like always, we should set a deadline. For example, in our emergency department, we have some 15 beds. We can manage 15 people whenever any emergency comes. But sometimes there is a bus accident. 80 of them come together to the emergency department. We don't know how to treat them. That time we follow a system called as triage. What we do is see all the patients in 10 minutes. Like we give someone red card, someone yellow card, someone green card. That means that red card means it has to be attended within 10 minutes. Yellow card means they can be attended even half an hour later. Green card, even if we don't attend them, there is no emergency. Similarly, if at all we don't prioritize our tasks, it is very difficult. To prioritize our task, what we should do is we should know why we should prioritize the task. Because what are the objectives of the task? If at all we write it down, then it will always help us to reduce stress. So always keep a calendar, mark the events in the calendar, every day look at that. And if you don't plan these things, you will always be not stress free or successful. I was talking about successful people and unsuccessful people. You can just watch this video, difference between successful and unsuccessful people. So all of us sitting here and listening, all of us have almost equal intelligence. Mine may be 115, your baby 117 IQ, but the major thing how we become successful depends upon the emotional intelligence. So if at all we don't be emotional intelligent, then all the problem starts. So many people, our colleagues, they achieve a bigger heights, but we always tell your luck ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿತ್ತು, he was lucky, so he achieved. But basically, it's not that. Though our IQs may be equal, our EQs are different. So how to develop this EQ is there are 5 components of emotional intelligence. One is the realistic self-assessment. What is this realistic self-assessment? Is that know yourself well. This is given by Hippocrates, know thyself, because most of the things we can do, some of the things we can't do. Know what things you can't do, and know your values, skills, and interest. Means like some people want to make lot of money, some people want to be satisfied with some money, but nothing is wrong. But make sure that what are your values, what are your interesting areas, what skills you have better. For example, I can analyze anything which is not visible. I can think about people what they are thinking, but the point is I don't even know how to draw an India map. If at all you look at me and drawing an India map, you will tell me mentally retarded. If at all you look at me analyzing people, I am quite okay. So you should know what are your skills, what are your interests, and what are your values. If at all you know that, then you can plan something. The third thing is about the motivation. We always want to, for example, I want to do IAS next 2 years later. But next 1 week, I don't know what I have done. Next 1 month, I don't do anything. So you have a motivation, but you should know what your targets, 1 week target, 1 month target, say 3 months target, 6 months target. Then it causes good things. Self-regulation. The biggest problem with all the human beings is the anger. Anger is a common emotion for everyone. But how we react in anger is the one uh, which differentiates you from others. Many times people thought me that when you are angry, you count 1 to 10. I am angry, I slap someone and then count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So how can that be possible? Like, first of all, if you can learn to manage your anger, most of your self-regulation is done. Most of the relationship break, most of our jobs, the dissatisfaction happens because of our anger. So how to control anger is the next question. Anger we can't control, but how we react to the anger we can control. So the first step in self-regulation of anger is that whenever we are angry, there is a physical change in the body. For example, when I am angry, like I always feel that my thighs are shaking, but it will not be doing like that. I have observed. Many times I feel when I am angry, there is a Bunsen burner next to behind my ears, and I feel my ears are red. Many times I have gone and checked in the mirror, it's not red. But these are the two physical symptoms I get when I am angry. So, if at all you are able to find out what are the physical symptoms you get when you are angry, 50% of your anger is managed. Once you get those physical symptoms, then you should move from that place, go somewhere. Then, whenever you are okay, then come back. But that doesn't happen. If I am angry with someone of you, I go out again after some time. I get the thought that I should come back, either scold you, shout at you, or hit you. But if at all at that time, if you feel like that, then I make a call or someone neutral. Then also it is not controlled. Then you can have a drink water, count 1 to 10. It is a simple technique where anger is like a wave in the sea. For example, whenever the waves in the seashore, when we are standing, when the waves come, we feel that that will take us away, but it will come and go. Anger is also like that, it will come and go. But only thing is how we react that time is very, very important. The most important and the fifth component of emotional intelligence is empathy. See, most of the time, All humans are egotistic. Egotistic means it is not ego what you're thinking about. Egotistic means I am important for myself, madam is important for herself, sir is important for himself. The point is, if at all we address anyone as you, it would be better instead of telling I. If at all you address them, how are you? What did you had for your breakfast? These are some things which always gives some sort of good interpersonal things. This is one interpersonal video. Please watch it. This is like if you hurt someone, the karma returns in a different form. So basically, most of us, like if at all you look at most of the cause of stress is negative thinking. Like I always used to see many people, if they get some cough, suddenly during COVID time, they used to think that it is COVID, I'll go to ICU, then I will die. Like if you look at a 5-year-old child, child only thinks positive, so it gets whatever it wants. By the age of 18 or 19, our research tells 88% of the time we only think negative. Like if I get a thought that I am having ill health, what is the positive thought? If I get a thought that I'm having disease, I am having fever, I am having cancer, I can have heart attack, I am having some gastric problem. Like if you get a thought, what is the equivalent positive thought? Anyone can tell? Anyone? Most of the time we think I don't have cancer, I don't have heart attack. But again, it is a negative thought because our mind only scans that cancer or heart attack or neuropathy or stroke. I don't, it will never scan. The positive thought is I'm 100% healthy. Most of the time, what happens for us to feel stressed is that we always complain. The complaining is the one which always causes stress. I'll put a small video. He's Mahatre is one of the very good orator. Just look into this video. Like whole of my life, I was more interested in like I am in the psychiatry for more than 15 years. The initial days of my uh, almost 8 to 10 years, I did a lot of research on brain, neurotransmitters, so many things. But COVID, 2019, when COVID-19 didn't even exist, I received a invitation from one of the journals asking me to write about something called resilience, which was nowhere in my research profile. But you know that these foreign journals charge a huge amount as article processing charges, and wrote to them. First of all, it is not my areas of interest, but if at all you waive off the article processing charges, I would write on the topic. But they told yes, we will waive off the charges, and you can write. So that was the time when I wrote something about this resilience. But I didn't know that will play a huge role in whole of my life, because we all know that our generation faced the worst tragedies, that COVID-19. The biggest curse of our generation, I can tell, is that COVID-19. All of us lost many of our relatives, many of your parents, many of the jobs were lost. So many things went off because of COVID-19. Like Italy, Italy, lot of people died. When Italy was, there were a lot of people dying. There was a chance that in Mysore also the same things can happen, because Italy is also like Mysore, where uh, like as Mysoreans, did we have any earthquakes? No. Did we have any floods? No. We are never exposed to any sort of adversities. We are very lucky people. As a Mysorean, I got so many opportunities elsewhere to join as a psychiatrist or other administrative roles. We never go because we are so addicted to Mysore. But the point is, we are never exposed to the adversity. Mysore is called something like a pensioner's paradise, because so many people who are elderly are here. Similar thing happened in the Italy also. So many people died because once the COVID-19 came. The same things happened in Mysore also, because Italy and Mysore share many common realities. Like I am talking about something called as resilience. It's a physics topic. For example, this is a book I'm holding. If I apply pressure on this book, that once I leave the pressure, it will come back to its normal position. Similarly, the resilience is something which is actually a crucial skill. The physics we have brought to our psychology, where when there are certain very, very stressful situation which is applying lot of pressure in us, the ability to come back productively during a stressful situation is called as resilience. So the biggest factor is that you can see our younger generation, they're very good, technologically very sound. IQs are much, much higher than what we have. The biggest factor in them is someone did not give a mobile, they attempt suicide. Someone break up, they attempt suicide. All these because they are not resilient. Somewhere, if at all, we don't increase this resilience in us and our younger generation, we are heading to something very disaster. So the resilience. So the resilience is the one which determines how we face stress. Resilience is nothing but is like a buffer to ward off stress. So there are few ways how we can develop resilience. So very simple techniques I teach you that will definitely help you to become more resilient and manage stress in the more effective way. The first step is start the day with the intention. What is the starting the day with intention? We usually keep an alarm at 6 o'clock, but we get up at 6:30. Once we get up at 6:30, the first thing we start thinking, oh, I got up so late. What will happen? Something is waiting for me. Some disaster may happen. I'm asking you to give me only 10 minutes. I'm not telling you to do anything like a meditation or anything this 10 minutes. Keep your mobile in airplane mode. Keep alarm at 5 minutes and next 10 minutes. The first 5 minutes, just close your eyes. So many things will come to your mind. What all happened yesterday? What all people told? How people scolded you? So many things keep on coming. Someone criticized you. So many things keeps coming. After 5 minutes, you just tell stop. Next 5 minutes, I'll teach you what to do. The next 5 minutes, like that whenever you're taking a mobile, you'll always look at what is the megapixel of the camera in the mobile, what is the GB RAM, right? That's how we choose a mobile. Our brain is also a computer. What is the capacity of your brain? Anyone knows? How much GB? Anyone? What is the capacity of our brain? It is astonishing. It is the 5,862 GB RAM. But the point is, we don't program it properly. Like when I was in my +2, they used to teach us C++. In C++, what we used to do is, we used to program the computer A plus B whole square. We already got an output. Then the output is to come. Similarly, there are a lot of research which tell that our brain responds well to this C programming. So the next 5 minutes, after the first 5 minutes, you just program your mind. The whole day will be happy. The whole day I'll talk, I think only positive. The whole day I'm harmonious. Whole day I'll, whatever you want positive, just program it for the next 5 minutes. It's a very small technique, but it works wonders. The second thing is the stress busters. What is this stress busters? For example, many times the people tell that you read books whenever you are stressed. There is 180-page book. 180-page book reading only stress. How to read this 180 pages? Instead of that, just brushing through one page or one paragraph, many of the apps are there. The apps itself read the book. That is one way. Always I tell, the happiness what you want to find cannot happen outside. You always think, if I get a promotion, I'll be happy. If I publish an article, I'm happy. If my son gets scores first rank, I'm happy. All these things are not definitely are myths. If you are want to be happy, you can be happy within yourself, not from any external source. The second point is, the first point set the tone for the day. Second point is stay in the moment. What is this staying in the moment? For example, you are all working in different colleges, and like suddenly there is an inspection coming to your suddenly you receive a call. Someone was passing through the road and they want to visit your college. The first thing you start getting is that, oh, yesterday's attendance someone has not signed, some document is still not yet done, or some document you should complete it. So many negative. Only you start thinking that the worst case scenarios, like these things I have not done, these things I have not done. Everything makes you totally perturbed. When they come, you start sweating. They'll identify that oh, something is wrong in that in this department. Maybe we always catastrophize things, means like badne kaina brahmarakshasa madadu. We always spend lot of energy to think about something which has a very small possibility. Maybe they were going to this way, just came to visit you. But the point is, we only think about 98% negative, only 2% possibility of negative is happening. So stop focusing on something which is remote rather than stay in the moment. Focus on what you control, the third strategy. What is this focus on what you control? I was talking to a couple who are married for 35 long years. I asked the couple, how can you be so harmonious with each other? So then the husband told, doctor, actually, most of the decisions, major decision I take, minor decision my wife takes. So I asked, sir, what are the major decisions you are talking about that you take? He told, sir, whether India should support Ukraine or Russia, I take decision. Who will win the Champions Trophy? I'll take the decision. Then, madam, what does she take? What should be cooked in the house? Where should we go tomorrow? These are the decisions taken by the wife. So many things what we can't control. For example, the administrators whom you have, like so many things in the department you can't change. So many people you can't change. What we can change is the routine we have, like how much we exercise we can change. For example, uh, uh, India is the place which gave yoga to the world. Whenever I go to some foreign countries for a presentation and all, they always ask me, you are the people who gave yoga, but why don't you practice? I tell them, whenever we do physical exercise when we were children, when we are standing like this, whenever we leave the hand from the back, there was a slap. So that was traumatic experience. But the point is, so many things we can control the routine what we have. Morning, what time you go for a walk or a jog, what we eat, it is in our control. So please control what you can control. I always love this serenity prayer. God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference between them. So many things we can't change. Let us not worry about that. Control things what we can change. If at all we go, I am not telling that all of us should go to gym and have a six packs. Many of us cannot do that. Most of us cannot do that. Something what we can do is a walk for 30 minutes. Like most of you are young, all of you look very beautiful and handsome. The point is, if at all you want to be like this, even after 10 years, if at all you are 35, if you want to look 35, even at 45, you should exercise. You all know the DNA. DNA is the basic structure of our body. The DNA is held by a protein called as histone. This histone is like an elastic. It keeps stretching, stretching, stretching. You know that when the elastic stretch, it will become loose and fall down. Similarly, if at all you exercise daily, I'm not telling going to a Zumba or a gym, some physical exercise with some resistance training. We did a study, we had three groups. One group was there who did not do any exercise. Second group was like walking. Third group, some resistant exercise, maybe yoga, weightlifting, something like that. After 10 years, you can see the difference. The people who did that resistant exercise, their aging patterns remained the same. But who did not do the exercise, who were 45, were looking at like 55. So please do some exercise. All of us earn to eat, but most of the time we don't think what we eat. We don't plan what we eat. We don't understand what we eat. Basically, gut is the second brain of the body. Many of the things can be decided by our gut. So plan and eat what you want to eat. The other thing I want to tell you is that most of the time we are all important for ourselves. Agree or not? But most times, though we are important for ourselves, we always concerned about others' opinion. Someone talks or criticizes about us, we always keep thinking about that. Like if I am bald, I see bald patches in everyone. If I have enough hair on my scalp, why do I see bald patches? If someone criticizes you unnecessarily, that means the deficit is in him. But we don't think like that. Someone criticizes us or something, we always are bothered about that. Rein your emotions is the next concept I want to introduce when you're stressed. Say, for example, I am talking to you, I'm getting a call from my hospital. Like what happens is that whenever I'm getting a call from the hospital, I'm also talking to you. It's an important session. I want to address the staff of university. And at the same time, there's a call from the college. Always, whenever the call from the college comes, we are always get some notice or something reminder or something like that. So when I get both of them together, always we get very much stressed out. And then neither I talk to you, nor I am able to answer them, or somewhere I get confused or talk something else. Because this is the time when we feel very stressed. These are the times when this distance self-talk work excellently. What is this distance self-talk? Take off from half a minute or a minute from that situation. Just ask 3 questions. I'm Shivanand. What are you feeling right now, Shivanand? First question. I am feeling anxious. Why are you feeling like this? Because I don't know what to do. Should I answer the call or continue my talk? What are the underlying causes of these feeling and thoughts? Fear of what's happening in the medical college. So it is not an emergency. You can talk after that also. After the talk has been given permission, I am sitting in the hospital and giving a talk. Nothing will happen. Just talking this distance self-talk itself solves lot of problems. Or else when we are stressed, either you are taking a class, suddenly a principal comes to your classroom. Suddenly you'll become very perturbed what to do now. Whether to talk to the students or talk to the principal, what to do. Or principal is walking on the corridor. So what to do? Like neither you are able to address your students, nor you are able to talk to the principal. Principal may be going to some other class, but you get stressed. That time you have a distance self-talk like this. Always it helps. Practice mindfulness is the final thing to develop resilience. What is this mindfulness? Basically, from a younger age, I was very interested in how to learn about mind. Many places they taught me meditation. If you want to learn about the mind, you should meditate well, they used to tell. So they used to tell me to sit like this, and you should not have any thoughts. You should not have any thoughts is a thought. How can we be thoughtless? That was my question. So then I always used to think, like, how can people sit thoughtless? You sit sometime thoughtless, it is very, very difficult. So I learned a lot of meditation which never impressed me or never gave me any answers to my question. So this mindfulness is a meditation technique given by Gautama Buddha. It was called as Vipassana Dhyana. What is this Vipassana is? Like every day we get around 15,000 to 30,000 thoughts in our mind. All thoughts will not stay. Only those thoughts which we respond will stay. For example, responding means either we are uh, responding to the thought or we are trying to stop that thought. Like if some thought comes, if I tell I don't want also, it will come, it will become more. If I respond to that also, it will become more. But in Vipassana or mindfulness, what we do is we just close our eyes and just observe that thought. Neither we are stopping, nor we are responding to that. So always people used to tell me it is not switching off the mobile. Like how we switch off the mobile, meditation is not switching off the mobile, it is actually switching on the mobile. So whenever we are meditating, we should always go without any sort of expectation. Keep your spine straight. Just sit. These are like though I know that we start doing meditation like we sit like this. I am sitting like this. I am closing my eyes and I am able to observe my thoughts without responding for some time. I think I will do today around 10 minutes. After that, I open my eyes, see the mobile. It's only 42 seconds. So that these are some challenges we face. Even if it is 42 seconds, though we planned for 10 minutes, you be happy that at least 42 seconds I sat. Slowly it will improve. I do understand it is very difficult to meditate, but these are some websites where you can just click on that. Those websites itself will guide you how to do it. I started with the point that how to be happy. The secret of happiness is that we don't feel happy because of something. Like when we go to gym, first we our muscles get toned, then the muscles become structured. Like that, happiness is also a muscle. We should exercise it. Find some find something humor anywhere. Start laughing, then you'll be happy. See, most of the time when we were children, we all used to play. Now you see, like in this railway station, Everyone are in mobile. Only this fellow is caught not using the mobile. Earlier, our gatherings in the past was like this in the above photo. Now you can see the down photo, even the dog is holding a iPad. The biggest menace of this generation is these gadgets. So I always see people putting a status in Facebook, I am sick. But when in front of ICU, no one, everyone likes the Facebook. So my major what I want to convey is always be happy. Find small events of humor and laugh. Like if you laugh for 2 to 3 minutes, it releases endorphins. Endorphins are the happy hormones. These endorphins gives happiness. How much it is, like even if you laugh for 3 minutes with full open mind, it is like equal to exercising for 20 to 30%, 30 minutes. 98% of the CEOs prefer candidates with a good sense of humor. Laughter causes a release of endorphins. It boosts pain tolerance. Many foreign cancer centers offer uh, laugh therapy. So always keep laughing. Please do exercise. So always try. And even the smallest of the success, keep celebrating. Leave